Namo Phat, good morning. Thank you for joining me for our daily practice check-in. Listen, listen, listen. This beautiful sound calls us back to our true home. The second mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by exploitation, social injustice, stealing, and oppression, I vow to cultivate loving kindness and learn ways to work for the well-being of people, animals, plants, and minerals. I will practice generosity by sharing my time, energy, and material resources with those who are in real need. I'm determined not to steal and not to possess anything that should belong to others. I will respect the property of others, but I will prevent others from profiting from human suffering or the suffering of other species on earth. Our Dharma reading today is going to be the first part of a reflection by Lumpur Pasano called Which Practice is Right for Me? And this is from Beginning Our Day by the monastics of Abhayagiri Monastery. After the meal today, we will be taking formal leave of Ajahn Sucitto. Living as we do in an American Buddhist monastery, we're in a distinct minority and rather isolated. So when visiting teachers like Ajahn Sucitto come here and talk about specific practice experiences they've had, it's a precious opportunity for us. Having listened to them carefully, we can then reflect on our own experience, asking ourselves, what have I done that works? What has been beneficial? What has helped the mind relinquish its attachments and defilements? What has helped the mind become more peaceful, settled, and clear? It's not something we can learn from a book, reading about some theory and trying to make sense of it. Rather, it's about paying attention to this element of experience, our own experiences and the experiences of others. For instance, when Ajahn Thun visited here recently, the teachings he offered were always conveyed in terms of his own practice. This was my experience. This was the practice I used. This is what worked for me. After listening to teachings like that, we may be inspired to apply some of the practices described. But if we do, it's important that we attend to what genuinely works and examine this in our daily lives, interactions, and formal practice. To put it another way, we can ask ourselves, what is it that aligns us with Dhamma? The Buddha tells us that if something aligns or accords with the Dhamma, it's going to increase our happiness, well-being, clarity, and understanding. The opposite is true as well. When what we're doing increases our dukkha, our anxieties, confusion, and agitation, it's pretty sure bet that we're not aligned with the Dhamma. Trying to emulate a practice used by a respected teacher may seem like a fine idea, but the test is whether applying that practice accords with the Dhamma for you in your own personal experience. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you for joining me this morning.